Alrighty, yes, here we are. We are back, and yeah, got a little bit of bedhead going on. We're gonna overlook that right now, and we're gonna take a look at the paint station, and we're testing out. We're not doing the Warhammer thing. Gee whiz! Now I know I'm tired. We're doing that right there. We're checking out a different camera angle for the paint station, and hopefully that will make things a little bit better. We'll see what happens. Get back up there, right there. Because I've been looking at some other videos, and some people were like, hey, is it possible to get a little bit different angle than so far away? And so I started looking at some other creators that are doing painting stuff, people that are way better than me. And so I ran across a couple of them where they had like B-roll clips of their camera arms and stuff like that. So that's what we end up getting there. And basically, this is kind of what it looks like. So you can see that we got the arm there, and with the little Logitech Brio, and it's kind of looking over the shoulder type of thing that we got there. So that's what we're going to try to test out today, and to see if that is a viable, excuse me, a viable camera angle. And we'll take a look at it. We'll give it a shot and see. And I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to paint a little miniature, something that's been on the shelf of shame, the pile of shame for quite a while, and we're going to take a look at that. And then I've got a number of scenes. Since I don't have good lighting like I do here with like a key light, and forgot to put on the fill light. Since I don't have that over there, that's something that that I wanted to kind of improve upon, but that would require buying more lights over there. And then the problem is I had the overhead light coming down, and that kind of washes out my face with that camera view. And so, yeah, I'm just going to put up pictures of me. So if you see a picture like this with me, and then of course it'll kind of change from time to time in that top left corner. Yeah, I thought that would be better than looking at the bedhead that we have right now. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look, and we'll test out this new camera angle. Like I said, I just woke up. And this is the little miniature that we're going to end up doing. We'll get this out of the way. And this is something from One Page Rules. And I think I want to get rid of this. So what we're going to end up doing, this is my little miniature holder that I made on Tinkercad. And voila, check that out. And then I can just have it like this, or if I want, I could end up putting a little brace on there, so I could kind of have some, do something like that. Maybe we could do that. We'll just throw that down there, and we'll just pop these are little hair ties. You could use rubber bands, but yeah, this works out pretty good. So yeah, it keeps everything into place, and yeah, got a little bit of rotation that you can do, so not too bad. So we'll put that about right there. 32 millimeter base. This is from One Page Rules, and they're free download. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to try to paint. I know it's not primed, but we're just going to run with it. This is just a test to see if we can get some good angles, and if I can keep my arms and elbows and all that stuff. So we got kind of like this wide shot here, and then the scenes will change like every 20 to 35 seconds. So we'll see how that goes. Try to not be the same boring thing. So with that, let's go ahead and let's do some type of purple. And we could do some purple on the wings. I think we could do that, kind of this crushed, or we could just go purple, purple. Or we could do red. We could do the red too. So we could do a dragon red on the wings and do kind of a more of a demon type look. So let's go ahead and do that. Today I'm rocking a coconut hazelnut latte, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Dark roast beans. I make it myself, my own lattes. Have a Breville touch. Try to get this paint all done. And try to look at this guy. It's really, really small. So this will be an interesting character. Got some bone stuff that we can throw in there. I got some chains. This is resin printed. And this is going to be really delicate because this is water washable resin, which is the Jamhe water washable resin, which is really brittle. So I gotta be careful. So not sure. This might break. I don't know. We'll see. Let's end up doing that. And I think that is. Yes, it is clogged up. It's been a minute. I'll do some of that bright red. And with that, of course, we'll do some red, some other cool colors. Let's get a little bit of a towel that we got. We got MD on board. We got George popping in saying hello. Good morning, all. So we'll see how this new camera angle thing works. And I'll just kind of throw that on there. That is going to be that is a bright red color. But we will run with it. And then we'll come back and we'll again, I don't have a monitor, so I gotta like look over my shoulder to see to try to see if it looks good. And of course we don't have primer on this, or might have to do this a little heavy. That's why I didn't. But we'll see how this goes. Again, it's just a test. So we'll see how this. George says, back in the day, I kind of want to go to Elizabeth Taylor route of bourbon and Vicodin. However, I don't drink and I hate painkillers. Yeah, you're in a pickle if that's the situation. We might have to do a couple coats on this, but we'll see how this goes. Probably could have. What I do like about this is that trying to paint see if I can get a little bit of that off of there. Then when I do paint like this, it seems like it's a little more stable because I'm resting a forearm here, and then I have this set. And then if I kind of do this, then it's a little bit, there's more stability. So we'll just kind of see how this rolls. But the big thing is I want to be able to have a good view of what I'm doing. A good view of what I'm doing as I paint. Not only for me, but for the viewers, so we can kind of see what's going on. And so there's that happy balance of making it good for me, which will make it good for you. So that is what we're trying to accomplish. We're just going to try to knock this guy out a little quick. And a little 32 millimeter dude, tiny. And we might come in here and do some different little shading or whatever. It seems like this water washable resin is sucking in the paint. So that's probably another reason why you would probably want to, I don't know, prime your things. But since I'm a sucker for punishment, because I was thinking, I was like, well, we could go through and we could prime it, and then it's like, but today's gym day. I think I'm going to do chest and back today. And then I was like, I don't want to take that time because I don't have time. I'm retired and I don't have time. Is that odd? But, you know, to prime this and all that stuff, that would, you know, I mean, I could take it in the other room and probably spray it and try to dry it with a hair dryer, but I just wasn't feeling like doing all that. I just felt like, maybe I'll just paint it, see what happens. You know, that's all we're gonna do. But I like this so far. This little miniature holder that I made, I like it. I'm glad I made it. He's got some chains hanging off his wings there. So that'll be an interesting little detail. So you have to let me know if you like this camera angle as being a viewer, to see how it's just sucking in all that paint. So you might have to do a couple coats. I don't know. We'll see. But it's not bad though. Basically try to get a place where I got 3 points of contact. So I think painting is kind of like climbing. Always have 3 points of contact, and that will help. Which I'm finding out this is helping. No, I didn't fart. It's just that silicone dude. Thing I got my hand resting on. Just try to do a little bit of more cover up. Just quick little patch. Should look okay. That's pretty good, I think. And when I get another camera, I'm gonna get another camera that's got a lot better zoom. And holy crow, that is small. So I think we'll do him in red as well. And the details are so small. Guess I could do, well, kind of hard to see, but we'll just go crazy with the red. Then we can just go over, because it kind of looks like he has some armor on his arms, his forearms. So you can always go back over that with like some silver or whatever. or some gold. Gold to look good. Red and so let's see if we got a little. Let's see what other colors we can end up getting him. It looks like he's got like knee pads on, so I'll kind of do that. He's got like some type of bags on the front, loincloth type covering. So maybe we could do that in like a brown. That would kind of blend in. And his feet. Yeah, that is just going to be an odd looking. And he's got his little dragon reptile tail thing, which I'm already guessing would be good with since it's got like some spikes, scaly spike things that we could put some orange on there. We can do that. Saved it. I'm keeping this thick because of course I didn't prime it, so. I'll see how this goes. That print is really soaking it. Yeah, it's like a sponge. That's why I was like not adding and watering down this paint because I knew it would kind of do that. And I've had this thing printed out for a long time, so it's nice and dry. It's like, I guess, just begging for moisture. And like I said, it's a water washable, so it's super delicate. But that'll be okay. We'll deal with it. So, Mr. Wing. But okay, so we're getting there. But the underside, of course, that's going to have just an odd looking. This is a small model. We'll see what we can do. Some of it is muddled, even for a resin print, but it's not like the craziest thing that we got. He's got like a sword, but it's hard to see he's got like fingers or anything around it, so we're just gonna try to fake it and see what happens. So, okay, so we got that there. And we could, thinking about these parts here, what we could end up doing, what color, maybe we could do like a skeleton, mummy robes or skeleton bone. Skeleton bone I think would be good. Corsair the Pirate, you wear magnifiers on your eyes so you don't go blind. Sometimes, but they're these right here. So if I get something really, really small, I'll wear these. But for the most part, that's why I like the bigger models. Because bigger models, I mean, stuff like this, the details on that are just like crazy small. And you have to wear the magnifying glasses. And it's a pain in the butt. And so that's why I kind of like making them a little bit bigger. And then even some larger ones, it's like, it's so much nicer. But we'll muddle through this and see how it goes. Just need a little bit. Alrighty then. And again, this is going to be kind of thick. Just add a little bit of water. And he's got those talons. He's got like the spikes on there. So it's almost like I need to do something else with those things. I think maybe I'll do them in like a black or a dark red. I think that could look better. So I'll just paint these things a little bit since I have it out. These little spike talons things. And we'll do the rest of it in like maybe a darker color. I guess we could just do one side and then the other. I'm kind of doing this in the wrong order. But oh well. This is just the test of the camera to see if I can get some better angles. Because watching the videos, it's like I didn't really like it. So I wanted to have something a little bit better. hence the video. Okay, let's do some, yeah, throw some on his horns, on his head. Maybe it is time to get the magnifiers out. That's a little thick. Let's add a little bit of water. Is that okay? And I guess we'll just go ahead and we'll throw this on his knee pads here or whatever, because that just kind of looks like it should be. What was the paint making machine I heard? It's a Vortex. Is there anything I don't have? There's probably a lot of stuff I don't have. Yeah, a little Vortex paint shaker I got off of Amazon for hobby painting. It helps a little bit. Is the camera zoom randomized? I have like a scene, and then after like 20 or 35 seconds, it'll change to a next scene, so I kind of zoom it in. But then the camera has a little bit of focus, autofocus. So that's like super, super close. But again, this isn't the best camera in the world for autofocus. So I just wanted to try to, with each camera scene, like I said, 20 to 35 seconds that it'll change, and so it'll be, you know, zoom in a little bit, and then it'll go out, and then zoom in a little bit. I wanted something to, I don't know, keep people engaged a little bit, and figured that might be something that would be worthwhile. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We got a little, do a little spiky on his tail too. So yeah, I try to spice it up a little bit, but there's only so much you can do with a webcam, is what it comes down to. And that's pretty much all I can do, because I'm not going to spend $1,000 for a camera like the professionals do, and that's just for the camera housing. So it's a mirrorless camera that most of these people, you know, the really, really good painters and the ones that are making, you know, their full-time job is YouTube painting, you know, they've got like $1,000 camera with a, you know, $700 or $800 lens on the camera. And yeah, I don't have that type of money. So I'm trying to do the best I can with what I have. But the next camera I'm going to get, which is going to be this camera that you're looking through, it will be a little bit better. It's got a lot better autofocus, so that'll definitely help. And we'll see how that goes. I screwed up a little bit. I got a little bit of a splotch of. And we can do some silver there. I think we're good for the most part on that. Let's go through and we can do some silver. Looks good close up. Yeah, it's not too bad. That's a Logitech Brio camera. Pyro's here, so yeah, it's nice. I like it when you have the screen with the chats in the left corner, being able to see our own comment, and the delay is nice in some way. Yeah, the problem is with this software, it won't automatically display comments, so I would have to be at my computer to accept those comments. Let's see if I press it on here, since now. To have the comments on screen like when I'm sitting at my desk. So Corsair asks 2K, 4K. The Logitech Brio, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's 2K. So I think that's it. So we can see the pores on your hand. Yeah, I'm getting that old man skin. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. So, but with the other camera, it has 4K, but it's 30 frames per second, or it'll do 1080 at 60 frames per second. But the autofocus is really, really good on the new camera I want to get. Oh, I see the comment screen was visible in the first live stream I joined. Yeah, that was because I was at the desk, and so what I was doing with that was because you can pre-screen the comments, and some programs on Windows, you can have the comments automatically show up on screen, but then you don't have a chance to filter them. And the problem with that is if you get somebody that comes on there and says something stupid or racist or, swear words or, cussing and, making all kind of disparaging remarks, that can get your video banned. That can be a strike against your channel. So, yeah. And a lot of times you'll see people that will have the comments come up on screen. They'll have somebody that will be moderating the comments before they show up on screen. And I don't have that. I'm a one-man show here. Because unfortunately there are stupid people. And that's when I pre-screen comments, and I've actually had people that are, that would post a comment and, saying really, really bad stuff. And it's like, yeah, they're just trolls. And so what I end up doing is I just ban them, and you never see those comments. I see them, but you all never see them. And I don't want my channel banned, so yeah, kind of that. Okay, let's do a little bit of silver since we got some of that silver stuff. We can do a sword. We're going to use some gunmetal from Army Painter. And we're just going to, wow, that is thick. Let's get a little bit of water on there. So yeah, you got to be careful with that. Corsair says, I need to hire an assistant. Adventive says the paint shaker, he thought something was wrong with the audio. No, not that. Just the paint shaker. That's all it is. And just try to do a quick little onesie thing on this little sword there. Let's see how that goes. And then he's got some chains hanging from his wings, which is really weird. But we'll just go ahead and we'll run with that. Pyro says maybe his wife. Yeah, that's not her thing. My wife is awesome. But yeah, she's got other things to do. Okay, let's see. Do a little bit of armor on his forearms. Get into some more details. Can I squeeze out a little bit more? And I think I might just go ahead and do these with some silver, because we got an awful lot of bone. So we'll give them some silver armored knee pads. And it bled up a little bit. Oh well. Then I guess we'll just do all of these because he needs armor. I think he needs armor. Did you use primer this time? No, I did not. I was too lazy. I didn't want to do the primer. Excuse me, gonna take a swig. No, I didn't use primer because it was all under the guise of I'm just going to test the camera angles and see if it ends up it looks nice. So that was the whole kind of thing here. And I didn't want to have to take this and prime it, paint it. I just woke up and I was like, let me see if I could do something different with some with this camera angle thing. And lo and behold, that's why we're here. But next time I will prime. How about that? I will prime. But we did finish up the Warhammer dude, which is good. And I think that turned out okay. it's not too bad. For not having it primed. Imagine that. What are the odds? Let's see. What can we do? Let's do some black on these. I think it needs some black. So we'll do a little bit of matte black and mix it up with my mixer. So don't be alarmed. And Pyro says, how did the figure you were painting turn out? I remember that you were happy with skipping the primer. I don't know if I was happy with skipping the primer. I think it was like, too late to go back. But I can go pick him up and we'll take a look at that, matter of fact. Let me mix this up and then let me go get him and I'll take a look and show you. And he turned out fairly decent. So there he is. And yeah, he turned out fairly good. I got some good colors on him. There we can see there. Turned out pretty good. Did some edging, highlighting and all that stuff. It didn't do any grime or anything, but I mean, for FDM printed, it turned out, I'd say it turned out pretty good. Let me see if we get a little bit more light. There we go. That's better. So yeah, what do you think? Turn out okay? Got some good details on there. Not bad. Didn't go crazy on it, but I got him off the pile of shame, and that's what counts. So, yeah. Good stuff. Even the eyes came out really good. So we got a good glow on those. Yeah. Nice. Nice, nice. So I think it turned out pretty good, pretty good. We got Swedish Ford in the house. Good to see you. Swedish is the main language of Pyro. That's cool. Wow, looks awesome. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Nice job. Yeah, thank you. Even though I didn't prime it, turned out pretty good. It's displayable for me, so I think it turned out okay. So we can see. We get more light on there? I think we do. So I think that'll work. Add a little bit of water. Alrighty. See if we can do some black. And then the other thing we might end up doing is a little bit of maybe even some purple. We'll throw in some purple. We could do it in some orange. Let's especially on the spikes on his tail. That is black. And get this to where I can try to get a straight line. I can get this thing. Carefully. I wasn't planning on painting this much. Thought I'd just kind of throw out and get some camera angles. You have two suites here. Yes, we do. People use regular sandpaper on their 3D minis. If they're resin printed, no. If they're FDM printed, they might. I guess it depends on the on how big, and if there's some really bad rough spots on the minis. And it also depends on how big, like on that Warhammer one that I just showed y'all. I could have sanded some of that stuff. Oh, that black has turned out nice. And of course, the larger ones, yeah. Oh, I forgot a little back talon action there. Let me reconstitute some of this and get that painted. No, I don't think so. We're gonna have to. Yeah. Oh well. Always seem to forget something. Could end up doing a little bit of a dry brush. I went too big on that. Dang it. Oh wow. That's not bad. You can always kind of go over it with red maybe. Oh, dun dun dun. From the finest to the coarsest. Yeah, that's true. Or actually the coarsest to the finest. But with resin miniatures, excuse me, with resin miniatures, yeah, you don't have to sand them at all. So if you're looking for some really good, highly detailed quality prints and stuff like that, then definitely go with resin printing. I got a little crook in this brush. Makes it kind of interesting. I need a little bit more black, I think. I got my first 3D printer a couple of weeks ago. I've been interested in them for many years. The A1 right now, and I'm thinking about buying a resin printer. Cool. But I have no knowledge about resin printers, so I'd have to do some more research. I have to find a space as well. I'm printing in my bedroom. Yeah, resin printers are going to be smelly. That is for sure. So you'll have to have a ventilation system of some type, and that would be most preferred. And resin has got some VOCs. You know, it's not good to breathe in that stuff. And yeah, so it's a little involved when you start getting into resin printing. So. the quality of the models that you can get with resin printing is top notch. This is definitely the way to go. Okay, coming out pretty decent, I think. We get some of these other colors here on this side. I should have just painted everything red, and then I could just have painted over with the black, and it wouldn't have left so many marks or little areas of unpainted areas. That would have been the smart way to do it, but oh well. Lesson learned. Still turned out nice. Happy New Year. Heck, hey, Happy New Year to you. $2026. Yeah, kind of amazing, huh? We made it another year. And the other thing we can do with this is we can end up doing a wash, and that can hide. It'll give some more texture, but also hide some mistakes or problem areas. So washes are good. I like washes. Then we got some areas on the wings where there's some details in there. We go in with like some orange or even some black little spots. Ooh, that'd look really good. We could do some purple and kind of blotch that in on, like this part of the wing, and then put some little black spots on there. That would really look good. And there's a little space I missed. So yeah, that's looking pretty darn good. And I think we'll end up doing is we'll just do that little ridge that's on his back with a little bit of black. See if we can just run that brush across there. Kind of tie that in. I think we could do some black and then maybe some orange on like these little bits. On his back tail, his demon tail. Just do a little black on there. Just give it a little bit of a something different. So that's what we got going on so far. Not bad, not bad. And let's see, what can we do next? We could do that purple thing. That purple will look hot. Let's see. So we could do some alien purple, or we could do, I think we'd do some alien purple, or we could do some orange. Orange could be good too. And we could probably do both. Let's try some orange first, and then we'll kind of do a little bit of highlighting, at least on maybe this side of the wings, kind of like on here. Kind of splotch that in there a little bit. We'll see how that goes. This figure looks top. Paint holder works well. Yeah, it does. I'm pretty happy with this. That I made this in Tinkercad, and yeah, it turned out really, really well. Even got like a little indentation for your thumb, if you can see that. Little holders back here. And then I have the other part for it, in case you don't want to do this type of brace. You can have this one here so that you can have a little bit more real estate, you know, to hold it in different positions. So there's that one there. But yeah, let's do a little bit of orange here. See if we can't get this mixed up. Because you can see all the pigment is orange, and it's, yeah. I haven't used that orange in ages. I think I used it on a dragon I did, but that was like a year or so. That paint holder looks well. Swedish Forge says, can you make one to me, but for larger models? This will hold a base that is 32 millimeters all the way to 65. And on a 3D printer, you could take this model and you could just scale it up, and it should work. You'd have to, you know, find how big a base that you want, then you could just scale up this as necessary. Man, that is really, really not shaking. Yeah, it's been a while since I've used this. Let's see if we can't help in this shaking a little bit. Get back in there. Yeah, this is just not going well. Some of that pigment in that paint just gets so, it just gets locked in that bottom, and you just need to stir it up. I need to get like a wire stir or something. What time is it in South Korea now? It is 7:35 in the morning. What time is it in Sweden? Okay. Here, what we're going to end up doing, we'll do a little bit of. Bet you that's blocked. Yep. Yes, it is. Now here, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take our sponge and we're going to add some water to, there's way too much paint, but oh well. Make sure that we mix this up. That is a lot of orange. All honesty, I could probably salvage some of that. I feel better now. We saved some paint. And in Sweden, it's 11:41 p.m. Holy crow. Alrighty, so here's what we're going to end up doing. We got a little piece of foam, a little packing material foam. And what we're going to do is we're just going to wet this a little bit. And then what we can end up doing is just dip that in there, and then we can get kind of like a, just kind of a little random pattern thing there. And so we'll do that. And we can come onto our model like so. And add a little bit of color to it. So I can get a little bit more detail. So that'll come out nice. And let's be careful. There we go. So that'll give some kind of interesting little detail there. As far as that orange. And then we could go back and we could do the same thing with a little bit of purple. And then we could do some black spots as well. So just try to get off. Yeah. So we do that. I don't know how well that shows up. Seems like it's really, we got a lot of saturation there. Let me see if we can take that saturation down a little bit, because that is pretty bright. this up and take it down to a -3. That looks a little better. Okay. Let me see how that looks. Still, the red is really punchy, but you can see the orange on there. And then with the purple, we'll do some of the purple as well. Now kind of break up all of that red. So we'll mix up some purple. Hello there, Zombie Hunter has entered the room. Good to see you there, bro. And that red is punchy. That's like really, really bright. On this, it's a little bit darker than what we see on the video. At least that's what it seems like. So I turned down that. This is another one that I haven't used in forever. I think we might have to crack that one open. What am I seeing? Grass coffee. No. It's a coconut hazelnut latte, double shot. That is forever going to be the joke. Man, we're gonna have to crack this one too. Oh, the joy. I bet you that is clogged up too. I guarantee it. Yep. Oh, big time. Big time clog. Alrighty, let's see if we can. Man, that is really thick. Add some water to that and see if we can't release the ball. Release the Kraken. Look at how thick that is. That is like insanely thick. We're gonna have to add some more water to that because that is crazy, crazy thick. What color are you going to paint the base, and are you going to put rocks and some other fun stuff? I'll probably do like some brown on the base, maybe a little bit of ground texture on this part of the base, and then the rock will do like a maybe something like dark stone, and then maybe get a little bit of some light in there and maybe do some lines. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll definitely make it a little bit more interesting. put some water in here. We mixed it up and back to the vortex. There's supposed to be a paintball in there, and we don't hear it. But yeah, some purple and then maybe a little bit of black on there. See how this turns out. Oh yeah, much better. That would be good. Seriously. So our alien purple. And since that looks fairly good, let's get some. Trim this out a little bit. So got a little bit more pointy-ish. And now, let's see how we can just a few. Just a few speckles. So we get a little bit of different color in there. So there we go. And then we'll go back and do the same thing over here a little bit. Fair amount. So that way you get some. How does that come out? So it looks pretty good, I think. And then, so I think we're good with the purple. So I think that's good. And then let's go ahead and, since we still have some black, let's see if we can't add a little bit of, and bring some black out here, some water, and we'll do the same thing with the black. We'll get a few little spots of black on there. And just kind of muddy it up just a bit. I wasn't planning on going this detailed on it, but I think this is good. Because it definitely adds some interesting characteristics to it. It's just not like a bundle of red. You know, it gives some depth. And that's kind of cool. I like that. Little layers and layers. And then we might even see if we can't just do a few little splotches on him as well. Kind of break up some of all of that red that we see. This won't be too bad. So yeah, how does that look? It's coming out pretty good. Let's clean up our little foam here. We're good to go. Next thing we could end up doing is we could do some wash on, we'll do a strong tone wash on some of the bony areas. So that way it doesn't look so pristine. The latte is gone. What color are you going to paint the base? We talked about that. I need to buy a brush cleaner, as you have there. That's a cheap little thing, but I like it. It works out well enough. I'm a sucker for little gadgets. I just wish it held more water. Alrighty, let's see what we can do with this wash. Now we can kind of get a little bit more details, make it look a little bit more aged, a wee bit. Oh yeah, that's coming in nice. So get in those recesses and that'll look good. Good, good, good. I'll throw some on this. This thing is great. I like it. It really came out nice. I think it is doing its job well. Yeah, that wash is coming out nice. Because it's really adding a little bit of detail on there, darkening up those areas. And that'll really hit up on this here. We do his horns and everything. It's already great. So nice. Oh yes, very much better. Very much better. And you could even go through and hit up the armor that he has on there to kind of put some wash on that, because then the wash will get into those recesses, so we get a little bit more detail in those areas. So it just kind of makes it pop a little bit more. And I like this because I get better. The more I do it, the better I get. Not bad for being just a little mini that we're just going to try out testing camera angles. Came out nice. We could even do some on his feet to try to highlight some of those areas. Heck, we could even do a little bit more. Because that just looks a little bit too pretty. So I'll darken up that tail a little bit. Get into some of those areas so it doesn't look like it's got a freshly painted tail. And we could even just I'll just do it on the whole body. Darken that up a bit. So yeah, nice, nice, nice. So how does that turn out? Got some good one. I think it looks good for just a little rinky-dink little thing that we got going on there. Nice. And now we do some dark stone, which I think we could either do dark or we could do a little bit gray. All Or we could kind of do both. Let's do the dark for the stone, and then we'll come back, and if we could highlight, maybe we could do highlight with a little bit. Highlight with some lighter colors on there, but it's got some good detail. That's not bad for just screwing around. I think he's got eyes. It's hard to tell. But I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you're maybe about 8 inches away, about right there. And then if I wanted to go crazy with it, I could end up doing some edge highlighting. So do some like light streaks on the black part of the wings and everything, which we could probably do that. Maybe do that in like a silver. Alrighty. And of course this is going to be clogged as well. No? Surprisingly not. And let's see. This we can just keep using the same brush. Just kind of mix that up a little bit. If I was smart, I probably would have done the base with the base color first. But, oh well. It is what it is. I think somebody's moving furniture. In one of the apartments upstairs. Okay, that's turned out good. There's a little piece in there that, seriously, really? That's going to bug me right in between this tail and this leg. There is a spot where I can see the gray. Let me see if I can. Okay. So we got that little piece done, so that's turned out all right. Oh, and I'm out of water. No! Dip into the dirty water. Let's see. Maybe we should do some ground texture. That's kind of a brownish. We've got some dark, which we already have dark. This is too light. So I think we'll try with this Middle Earth around the base here. So I think that could work out. So that's going to be a little fun. This is more like mud. So using this stuff, what would be really nice is to have a little like coffee stirrer, the wood coffee stirrers. And then that would, see how that's kind of like muddy-ish. That's a lot of mud. See if I can just get this around the base there. I have a feeling I'm going to have to get my fingers involved in this. Or just get more of it. That'll be all right. Not bad. How does that look? Not bad for some mud. I didn't get too dirty. Thing is, we'll have to let that dry, but not too bad. Alrighty, the other thing we could end up doing is we could put some grass on there. Put a little bit of green, like right in front there. I want like the smallest piece. I think that would be that one. I could just stick that guy right up there. So that way we got a little bit of green. So yeah, not too bad. And I think the last thing we'll end up doing is we can take some of this cloak. That's going to be too close. So what I probably want to do is get a little bit lighter. Maybe this uniform gray, and we could do some lines on some of the rocks. So well, good morning. Doing my little
look at that.
Yeah.
That's pretty. What's that one?
This is what that?
Yeah.
This is a little loincloth to cover his butt. Gotta have something to cover his butt.
Okay, without my glasses, look like hairy tails.
Yeah, he's got. That's what this is. His big tail.
Oh, okay. Ooh, look at that.
So, yeah, I got different colors of orange, purple, black.
Nice color, hon. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So trying out a new camera angle to see how it looks on the video, and I think it works good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Let me hit the gym.
Alrighty.
Coffee's all gone. Oh. We've done some other stuff. Little train stuff that we ended up doing. It turned out kind of nice. Not bad. You do some wash on that, so that'll really pop. Maybe a warm wash. And then this was done with the acrylic markers, the acrylic pen markers that I got. Turned out pretty good. And this is a combination of sand, paint, and acrylic markers. It kind of turned out cool. Now let's see what we can do with this. And nope, that's not clogged. Huh. I was surprised. Now we're just going to need a little bit of this. And we'll see if we can do, we're going to need a really small paintbrush. Something like this. But first, let's go ahead and we'll make sure that's mixed up. And we'll add a little bit more water. Of course, I used too much paint. Good thing these are miniatures. And Let me get my Master Geek glasses on. And we'll see if we can't. Get some line colors on here. This is turning out good. Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the gym today.
You're gonna skip the gym?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna skip it too?
No, I'll probably go.
Yeah.
Just not feel well, or just want to take a break? Just take a break?
My hair.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 24 hours.
Yeah, makes sense. Forgot about that. Okay.
I go on, I can just do a not sweaty thing.
It's up to you. I mean, you don't have to go. It's no big deal.
Take it really, really easy. I go, not sweat.
Okay.
Look like it's raining.
Yeah. Okay. That looks nice. Definitely an improvement. So we can change a little bit of, again, a little bit of detail there. So we'll see if we can take a look and see some of the details on there. Let's see if we can move this guy around a little bit. So you can see the lines on the rock, if that will focus. Maybe if I put my hand behind there. That's why I can't wait to get that other camera. So you can see we did that edge highlighting on the rock. And so it kind of breaks up some of that. And it comes out kind of good. So the other thing we could end up doing is we could take some of that gray and even some of this this brown color. Bring these in together, and we just kind of, add a little bit of mushy color, whatever, to some of this. Some of that terrain that we ended up doing. I'll kind of add a little bit. Again, just kind of mix that up. Maybe we could do a little bit of green. I don't know. Or black. Do we have enough black? Can we reconstitute some black there? Yeah, we did. So we just kind of speckle that up a little bit. That'll add a little bit of different color. And again, kind of mush that in there a little bit. And we should be okay. So, I think we're pretty good on that. We got some good details on the rock. We got some good details on the guy himself. And I think that is good. We can take him off the pile of shame. So, worked out good. Good, good, good. So the only thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll let this dry and then probably put a matte varnish on him. And these I need to wash. We'll do a little matte varnish. Maybe I will. And then it should be good. And let's see if we can't get a good picture. And then what we'll end up doing is seeing how we can and then that way we can end up going back to the table and taking a look and seeing how he turned out. But I think it turned out good. I think he turned out quite well. So with that, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy indeed. So let's see if we can get a little bit of, maybe a little bit of darker on some of that stuff. Like on, you could do like a dark wash or something to try to, in these areas here, closer, because it just seems like too abrupt a black into that. We could do something like that, kind of blend that in. But yeah, I think it's good enough for government work. I think we're good. So we'll go ahead and we'll go back to the table, but let me send these pictures over. There's only 2 of them. And we will see what we have. So to the table we go. Or the desk, I should say. And there they are. Okay, we finished that up, and I think we did a decent job on that. Hair's all messed up, whatever. Swedish Ford says he's gonna go to bed. Hey, before you go, take a look, and we'll see the pictures here real quick. So boom, there it is. Let's drag this down a little bit so we can make it a little bit bigger. So not bad, not bad. I think it turned out pretty good. Pretty decent for a little 32 millimeter mini dude. And here is the other one. So we'll take a look at that. We'll bring this and we'll crop this down. We'll make this bigger. And we can see, I mean, the line work on the stones is a little thick, but we definitely see that we incorporate a lot of colors on there. That's not bad for, you know, for what we ended up doing. And there's the, let's see if we can get rid of this. Let's see if we can kind of blow this up a little bit. Take a look. Let's just make that big. So yeah, some places where I went over on the lines and stuff like that, but a little bit of colors and stuff like that. Of course, the more you blow it up, the more the more of the errors you're going to end up seeing. But as it sits, you know, as a miniature or something that's, you know, tiny, 32 millimeters, you know, 32 millimeter figure, yeah, I think it turned out good. We got them off the important thing is we got them off the pile of shame, so we're good to go. George says, quite impressive. Not bad. There's still some things we could end up doing, like blending from the red to the black. I think that needs to be blended out a little bit, but got to go hit the gym and everything. But yeah, not bad, not bad. Next thing, George is asking, next thing on the list of things to do. I think I'm going to go back to, remember we made we printed out the parts for that Warhammer axe, and we haven't put it together. So that has been sitting on the floor next to the desk, staring at me aggressively, mad, pissed off, saying, hey, why haven't you put me together? So I think that's what we're going to end up doing there. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I mean, that little mini's not as good as like this guy here that I did. This guy, of course, he's bigger. He's got more real estate. It's easier to see. You know, we spent way too much time on this, you know, doing some grimdark stuff on him. And that guy's a little tiny dude. So I kind of like a little bit bigger figures. But it still turned out pretty good. Good enough for tabletop, definitely. And I've seen some miniatures for sale, people that paint them, and it's like, oh my gosh, those are horrible. And they're charging like $10, $15 a piece for a mini. So I don't know, maybe I need to go into the miniature painting business. We'll see. Let's see, I heard some good things about the Sunlu PLA 2.0 for FDM miniatures. Oh, okay. Let me bring that, I'm going to write that down. Sunlu PLA Plus 2.0. We'll take a look at that. I haven't heard of that before, so that could be interesting. We'll look into that. But until then, I guess the question is, did you like the camera angle that we ended up having? So having, you know, like the different camera angles like that. We had like 8 different scenes, and I'm hoping, especially when we get a better camera, that we'll be able to get some better autofocus. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, do you like that better, or do you like the one where it's further away? kind of like what we had before. Let me know in the comment section. I think this will be a little bit better because you're a little bit closer to the action. You can see what I'm doing more. And then with a better camera, with better autofocus, that will really, really make things a lot better. So I'm thinking that's the way to go. We'll give it a shot and see what happens. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. We finished up. We had a good time doing that. And just like everybody else in every other video, hopefully you'll have a good day. You'll enjoy yourself. Do some printing, do some painting, do something that you enjoy. Have fun and be a better person. That's what it's all about. The thing that I like is I get to hang around all of you who are good people, and that makes me a better person. So thank you. If you want to contact me, there's my email address. Say hi, shoot me pictures of stuff that you're doing, or if you know of tips, tricks, or information, playlists, videos, blogs, whatever, to make me better hobbyist or person, go ahead and send them to me, and I will respond usually within 1 or 2 days. I got a bunch of people over here bought me coffee. You can do that as well. Link in the description. But I would rather you like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's what I would really appreciate. So with that, all of that admin stuff out of the way, yeah, take care, and we will see you on the next video. And thanks for watching. Okay, peace. Good stuff. One more off the pile of shame.